Casting Red Tails was such a challenge. There were so many great actors that came in front of us. I had already had relationships with most of the cast from The Wire, or we had really great connections.
I'm all ears, sir.
Cuba was someone that I always wanted to work with. He knew immediately that he wanted to play Stance.
Never doubted it.
Cuba beat me down. He was figuring out all the connections to get to me. He called George's office. He sent a message to producer Rick McCallum, which came around to him saying, look, I want this role. Nate was someone that I considered, I really love this brother. He's talented, and I actually saw him as easy from the beginning.
You put a minute's worth of righteousness ahead of a whole war.
He came in already knowing Easy is my character.
Come on, Easy. Let me fly, sir, please.
I don't think it's just a black story. It's definitely an American story, but it's a story that many people can take something from, especially young black boys and girls, to know that anything's possible if you dream and believe.
You know, we speak a lot about how there are a few opportunities where you get to really stand in the shoes of people that came before you, where the shoes are so big and you're dying to fill them. You're terrified to take on the role because you know the responsibility. For me, it was just understanding that I could make an intellectualism cool. Seriously, you know, these guys were pilots. They were rock stars. Fighter pilot, you look at this poster, they flew planes with bullets, and they were 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Like, you can't get bigger than that. There's no rapper, there's no NBA star that has had that opportunity. You know, so to be able to do that and then go into the community and say, look what we represented. And this is what our standard was then, and it can be our standard now. It was the opportunity to draw these parallels to inspire youth, 2012.
I had tackled this material on an HBO movie called Tuskegee, so I knew when George put this together and said he was going to make a major motion picture about it, I lobbied to meet with the director. He decided it'd be great to have me come aboard. But you know, it's everything Nate said. You know, the movie felt bigger than us, not just on an educational standpoint, but the fact that George Lucas was going to put all of his energy. I mean, we grew up with Star Wars and everything that he's done, and he was going to put that to tell the story right. I had to be a part of it.
I was surrounded by incredible talent. You know, I've been a part of projects where you come on board and people come with their own ideas, and it takes a while to kind of bond because there's this people, you know, it's kind of like, oh, I'm going to do my job, I'm hired to do my job. And some of those jobs, they don't really demand that. A film like this, you know, these are Tuskegee Airmen. We represented, you know, 2 generations, almost 3 generations, with us being the pilots, you know, with Stance and Cuba being the next generation who was, you know, basically graduated up from that we were dependent on. Then Benjamin, you know, and Bullard, who he kind of answered to. Then all of us knew the weight of what was happening.
I'll take it a step more aggressive than that. You get in an ensemble cast in a movie, it's competition.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people can try to out the next one, or outdo, outact, out-presence, everything. This felt like we all were trying to service something greater than what we were trying to bring to it. And it was refreshing.
Yeah.
You know, you had established actors like Terrence and myself, and then you had the next generation coming up. And these actors aren't just guys that won the part. These guys have been working at their craft. And it's so funny, I'll toot his horn, but he's already producing now. He's got projects that he's putting together. He's got, you know, he goes after filmmakers when he's inspired by what they do and says he wants to work with them, and he's reaching out to them. So this is a new breed of actor that's coming up that we're just lucky to be a part of, you know.
Does it remind you sort of like when you were starting out, just sort of
Absolutely.
like when you realized you made it, you know?
I was doing a screening, because this is our 31st screening that we've been doing, these image maker screenings. And it was the first time, just last week, I sat through the movie for my 5th time and said, this is Boys in the Hood. It felt like Boys in the Hood to me, because I saw so many actors doing their part to tell a story, a real life story that was greater than what their performance was doing. And it really gave me a sense of pride during the movie. It really felt, you know, great.
So was the atmosphere both on and off the set basically that same level of energy, that same level of, you know, you guys are, they're your boys, like both.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It was absolute brotherhood and camaraderie. And we were in Eastern Europe, we were in Prague, so we were, it was only us. You know, so, and I think that it's interesting how something cannot be by design, but in the end, you realize it was absolutely necessary. You know, if we were in New York City shooting Red Tails, who knows, it may have been something different. You know, you have a lot of opportunity to go, I'm going to go here, I'll talk to you guys later. We ate together, we hung out together, we laughed together, we cried together. But at the end, we understood what we were there to do, and like you said, we served. We knew we had to serve the project, and it was bigger than us.
And we had real Tuskegee Airmen on the set every day.
Yeah.
Every day. These men were just wonderful. What was your question?
What we do, how well we do it, does it matter?
And you all thought what? You'd sign up, you get shiny boots, a uniform, and that'd be the end of 100 years of bigotry. You're colored men in the white man's army. It's a miracle you're flying fighters in Italy and not mopping latrines in Milwaukee. Any of you feel otherwise, any of you want to wash yourselves out, well, Negro, please do so. I'll have you on the next thing smoking back home to make room for the men who want to stand and fight. Get your head up, son. You're fighter pilots. Watch the rest of the film. Learn something.
You guys have been asked the same old questions, I'm sure, the whole tour, all the time. So I just want to ask you something different, hopefully something you haven't been asked before. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle and why?
The last lady just said that.
You're joking.
No,
I'm gonna find her. I'll beat her up. You took my question.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
I would say, actually, can I kind of opt out and say Splinter?
Sure.
For a rat
Yeah.
in New York City to rise to be a sensei over turtles.
You're great.
Some meaningful stuff.
It means something. Because rats are on the bottom. Rats and pigeons.
Great.
For him to say, I can be bigger than a rat.
Great.
I can actually train turtles. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then,
I have no idea. You got me on that. I'm like, there's a rat in the movie? I don't know. I know who the Teenage Ninja Turtles are, but I don't know. The one with the red mask on.
Raphael.
He
He was
he had
favorite
cool
Ninja
eyes.
Turtles.
Maybe Raphael, yeah, he was cool.
all right. That's what I wanted to know deep down. Thank you so much, you guys.